I did it again. I did it again. One day I'm gonna get everything right, even down to the fucking recording. Oh, so I made the video. We went over the strategy once more. I figured, seeing as I needed the recap, I could share with you guys the recap on what the strategy is and how to implement it. This is how it turned out. Watch this. Everything was good. Everything was dandy, right? Until, what do we see wrong with this? What do we see wrong with us? I forgot to minimize the fucking camera. And not only that, let's see if you could hear the difference. I don't know about you, but I can't hear him. Can you hear him? I can't. Now keep this in mind. I did go ahead and try. I tested it. Tested out the recording before I even started recording. But it didn't work as well as it did the first time. So here we are trying to explain everything that I actually had happen in the last fucking trade. Oh, let me do this right. Let me do this right first. All right. I want to make that smaller. How do I split? That's encrypt. Where's the ratio? No capture. I could actually just delete this and drag down this because it just wasn't working. Move the window capture. Bada bing, bada boom. Use the wheel wire. There we are. Which was so big. So yummy. Pause, pause, pause. All right, I think that should be good enough. Right? Right, let's all right. I'm pretty sure the camera was about this big. Should do. Trim this. All right. So the trade started off with a banger. With a banger. We were in a very long consolidation for 4 hours. Let me jump into the 4 hour range here. We were consolidating for 4 hours, and then we made a manipulation down. And then we made a distribution move all the way up here. So before we go in any further, we should have just started off with this. If you didn't watch the last video, we're going to go ahead and recap what the fuck it was. AMD. What's AMD? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. How do we find it in the market? It's very simple. Very easy. Go to the 4 hour, go to the 1 hour, go to the daily, go to the weekly, go to the monthly, go into any higher time frame, and you will be able to see patterns, right? So let me just give this to you. What do we have here? Let's start off with this. This whole thing right here it's just accumulating price. All this right here, right from this to this. It's just accumulation. This to this, it's just manipulation. And then what do? We got a reversal straight down. Dick size candles straight down. Now, with that in mind, I was able to go ahead and wait until price got swept. Now, in the last video, like I was trying to show you, there can be a liquidity sweep before your time frame, and that is okay if you get a liquidity sweep before your time. You want to be able to go ahead and mark out that liquidity sweep, so therefore you can make the trade. Continue on with the continuation. How do we do that? Well, we find the so we go into the hour, we find the leg up that caused the leg down to make the order block. This right here. This candle right here swept the low, which formed that order block. We wait until about 8 o'clock to see what it is. Well, actually, that's not how we played it. That's not how we played it out. How I really did play it out was I took short partials up until 8 o'clock, and then I wasn't paying attention and got wicked all the way out. So instead of being able to close my position the way that I wanted to close my position, price just automatically did it for me, which gave me $113 loss. Yikes. And then right about here, when market opened, I seen that there was going to be a reversal happening. I know there was going to be a reversal. How did I know there was going to be a reversal? There was a manipulation in London session. You can count on a reversal or a continuation happening if there is a setup like this. There's a manipulation in London, which causes us to consolidate a little bit to then go into a manipulation once again. How can I have done this? Now, this trade was about $563. I'm still trying to recover off of it. So how do we go ahead and enter in the scene, the liquidity sweep to the upside? We broke structure to the downside. I'm so sorry. We broke structure. We swept liquidity to the downside. We then had to break a structure on the hour. But I waited. Just merely fucking waited for the liquidity sweep to then build the order block to jump into the 5 minute time frame, the 1 and the 4 hour, all in line with one another, which gave me the confidence to jump into the 5 minute to work to a wait for the 1 hour. I think there was actually a 4 hour fair value gap to get filled into, and my order block to get disrespected. I also have these fair value gaps right here. That's no good. It didn't get tagged into. I put the order in here What I could have did was actually a good placement. That was a really good order. Realistically speaking, I could have just waited for the tap into the 5 minute fair value gap. After that, jumped into the 1 minute to place a trade. But what I did was wait until the order block got disrespected, wait until price tapped into the 4 hour to then jump into the one. Just look for my trade. I actually think this was, are you going to work? I actually think that was a 1 minute fair value gap that I did enter in on. Yeah. It was a 1 hour or 1 minute. Are we really doing this right now? Are we really doing this? Thank you. But not work with that. Alright, so this is a 1 minute fair value gap that I waited to go ahead and tapped into. Didn't really get a tap, so I just entered it on the brink. What I could have did was wait for that 1 minute fair value gap to get respected like it did, to then enter for a better price. Instead of entering in all the way up here where it was a pretty high price to enter in, put my stop all the way at these lows right here just to be protected. There's a fair value gap right here. Put it at the low. Would have netted me a lot of money. Now, if I would have did that instead of doing it up here, you would have said, "Oh wow, you would have won." I would have if I was paying attention to what the fuck I was doing. Opened the order, entered in, started taking partials here, here, and I wanted to wait on these to also smack. I seen that price dip down here and decided to close out the order. I didn't have enough confidence to wait, nor did I realize that this was a 1 minute fair value gap that was just waiting to get respected. So then rally higher. I closed the position. I shut down the position at 100%, thinking that I was just going to take a partial. Actually, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm thinking about something completely different. I closed the position out completely, thinking that it was done. When I really, if I was going to close the position, like I was explaining in the other video, I should have closed the position up here to get something back in return. If you're closing, just a rule of thumb, if you're doing partials, you want to stay in the green to close them out. You don't ever want to stay in the red or be farther down in the red, closer to your stop loss to take your partial or to close out the trade, because then you're netted out with a negative instead of a positive. Now, if I normally would want to hold my trades for about 15, 20, 30 minutes, max 4 hours. This trade turned from a scalping into a day trade. This ended at 5. I started off at 9. So that was actually 4 hours. That would have been a beautiful trade. I didn't look what price just did. Price blew through 1, 2, 3. I don't even have my take profit, my thing up there. I didn't even think it was gonna hit that. I just put it a little bit further up so that way I could get used to spread. But I didn't believe that price was just gonna make a gigantic ass move like that. Let's see how much it was. How much was that exactly? Oh, is it? Is it? Price range. So what do? We start from the low to the high. That's 149 points. That's disgusting. That would have been a $500 trade, but completely fucked it up.